And we are live. Welcome, SEO and AI nerds, to this week's SEO and AI news update. I'm going to go through the cool stuff that I found last week, which was week 32 or 33. Doesn't matter. I'll update the title once I know more. That's the only thing I never check is the weekday or number. Yeah, let's jump right into it. My name is Frederick Drost. I work for Precis Digital. Yeah, like, of course, and subscribe if you want to see more of this. First up, we've got a few analysis here. So seoClarity has done a really large study and a lot of impressions here. Basically, they found out that CTR rates and clicks have decreased because of AIO. Biggest or sharpest drop in CTR was ranked position 3 on all devices as well. And again, this leads really well into, I think it's a good analysis to show if your clients are saying, hey, we're losing traffic, pointing fingers at you. Okay. And then, of course, making sure we also track conversions. So again, are we losing money because of the loss of traffic here? And here is a good segue into the next small analysis here, where Monday.com actually came out and said that fewer people are clicking through Google search. The drop is in volume, but not lead quality high intent prospects. So basically, they're not losing prospects. They're not losing leads. They're just losing traffic. So was these, again, some of the comments here are saying, yeah, well, is there really a lot of value in reading about a certain piece of information from this blog like Monday.com? They're talking about a specific thing. If you get that answer from Google or from Monday, does it really matter? Are you going to convert? Probably not. I did write a commentary. You can actually see it. And my comment specifically talks about how we're still losing branding aspects. So we might not get any visibility, or if you get a response and you tie that, oh, thank you, I've gotten the answer I needed, and you tie it to Monday.com, that might be branding in the future when you decide to actually use their software, or you need a software like their app or whatever you want to call it. So from a long-term perspective, this might be hurtful. So I think that's important to note, and this is very much short-term data. So I just want to throw that out there. Another analysis here on the, I think, let's see who did this, SE ranking. They were testing AI-generated content on scale versus AI-assisted content. So the AI-assisted content did good, but if you take a lot of new domains and just throw out a bunch of AI content on them, it performs in the beginning and then completely drops out. So that is not a good scalable solution. Can you still use AI for your content? Yes, it will speed things up, but this is assisted. So I think AI-assisted content is definitely the way to go. And this kind of proves it. So nice little analysis here. And this is from Metehen. I didn't really know this guy, or doesn't post too much on Twitter, but he did analysis of 1,800 prompts that are basically available in Google. Some of these chats that are being shared are also being indexed, so it's pretty interesting. There's a lot going on here in this article or analysis, so I'm not really going to, I think they're good insights and good points on where your content strategy should be going, depending on what kind of business you are. I really like the hyperlocal pages here. That's an interesting insight. So basically, you can see here, hyperlocal commercial intent. So it seems like some of these queries are, very local. And I actually have a client who ranks for like hairdressers and things very locally, and they get a ton of AI referrals from OpenAI. So people are using it locally, which is super interesting. And maybe, if you have physical businesses, you should definitely be showing availability in your structured data on page to really help AIs figure out what's going on, and is this available in this city, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot more good insights from this, but for the sake of time, let's move into a few more guides here. We've got a very interesting post here on ranking traps from Mike Blazer. Again, Google, I looked at the patent. Again, I'm not sure if Google is using it, but he talks about rank transition functions and how when you implement like backlink campaigns or strategies for SEO, Google will give you two types of, or can maybe give you two types of responses: the slow burn, which basically just gives you very, very little input. It's designed to break users' feedback loop, and so you can't be more, it's harder to test, and basically you see a small increase, you go, oh, so you start becoming more aggressive with your tactic and thus revealing it. The other one is the head fake, where you actually, by doing a big change or something, you actually lose rankings, and then you might slowly gain them back and get even higher after. But because you lost, you might panic and remove your tactic, and thus you have shown Google your tactic again. So again, these are kind of systems designed to reveal your SEO tactics. So just be aware of those when you do things you are probably sure would have a positive effect, but they don't immediately. Be patient. Is the best kind of insight I can get from this post. Really, really interesting. Didn't even know these. So this Mike Blazer has a podcast on Google patents. I've definitely bookmarked that. Very cool stuff for the nerds. And then, of course, I pull rank here. Mike King from I Pull Rank. Pretty much the best AI search manual I've ever seen. Look at all these lovely chapters and really good stuff. And a lot of work went into like explaining the start, where we're going, all the different technologies behind AI search, etc., and then moving into how to apply it and the future. So just a really good collection. Definitely something that I will be bookmarking right now, just to prove how awesome this could be. So AI bookmarking you. There we go. And then a little guide here on how to not make ChatGPT suck at keyword research. It's quite a simple guide here, but I thought it was quite interesting. So have a look at that if you've used it before for keyword research, or might have never used it. To a few tools here that's been updated. We've got this very cool tools from DJan. Again, he keeps sharing all these awesome tools for the community to use. This one is if I'm able to find a Google entity, or is for example, my name am I part of Google's knowledge graph? So really, really interesting here. And again, it doesn't give me much information about is it me? I can see here there's a name, Google ID, but again, it doesn't really tell me much more information about who I could possibly be. But it looks like there's a few Frederick Drosts here, so that's interesting. I am kind of a bit everywhere. I also do have a watch blog, but anyway, interesting if you have a writer or any kind of brand or anything you want to check. It's a pretty cool tool. Another tool. This one is awesome as heck. Again, we've been doing a lot of AI visibility audits, which of course overlaps a lot with SEO. So don't, it's not just for AI, but one of the things is testing for Perplexity OpenAI bots. Can we fetch content? I know they have different bots and user agents, so some of them are actually just crawling kind of the web. Others are live fetching if you do a search and it needs to do a search. So how to test these has been kind of painful. I've done this manually with user agents in Chrome Dev, but now there's a tool where you just insert your actual domain name or site here, and then you can see some results. So this is really a great tool. And again, Max Braglia, it just showcases another way of creating, like, how do you want backlinks and visibility to your site? Create a tool that's actually useful for the community. People will link to it, talk about it. Great marketing strategy and something AIs cannot replicate. They can't create this tool. They can reference it. So love this, Max Braglia, but also love the tool. We'll definitely be using it and testing it. Oh yeah, and then finally here we're finishing the session off with some news. People are seeing and testing more and more the relationship between structured data and LLM visibility seems to be working. So structured data is definitely a priority if your priority is to get AI visibility, especially product structured data. Add as much info as possible. It used to be, what does Google minimally require? And what do you need? What kind of attributes in your markup do you need to get this snippet? Good, good, good. Google shopping ranking factors, good, good, good. Now I also advise clients to build upon that. How much information do you have about your product? Throw it in there. Even if schema.org doesn't actually cover it or has it as an official attribute, throw that information in, because it can still be easily read by LLMs and machines. So as much information as possible could give you that edge over other products if people are asking AIs about very specific things. I want this shirt with this kind of pattern, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just the importance of structured data has changed. Another cool little hint here from Brody, keeps coming with these awesome long posts on Twitter. Don't forget the advantages of the image tags in your sitemap. It's good, can speed up indexing of images. Are you relying on that? Then that might be a good thing to consider. But also, last week we talked about how sitemaps can be read by AIs, and it's quite useful to declare them in your robots.txt. And so the sitemap, if you have image, it might be help LLMs as well relate images to your URLs when using them as sources. Then we've got Lily Ray sharing, just sharing kind of that best of product content is kind of an AI goldmine. Like, it's being cited a lot, and it's can quickly become spammy. But one of the things we should still be doing is figuring out, well, okay, what is OpenAI using as references, and why are we not on these best of lists? Why are we not on these comparison sites? And if they are good comparison sites, then I would advise clients to go and whatever pay or affiliate you need to set up for it to actually be considered, do that. But as long as they're not just spammy, if you start just put me at the top, pay the money, spammy kind of top product websites, we don't want to be cited on those because there's some trust signals there, I think, that are not worth having. But for legit comparison websites, go ahead. And then finally here, to close this off, there's reports of an undocumented Google crawler using the name Google. Simply Google. So the problem is there. So people in the community, the SEO community, have said they've seen this crawler, which is problematic because we kind of want to be able to block or unblock Google bots if we want to, kind of the free web, transparency, etc. So if you've seen this type of bot, well, Google hasn't said anything about it yet, but now we kind of know what it could be. So, oh, well, and that's my cue to stop this recording. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Yeah, thanks for listening. I'll be posting next week as well. Every Monday, I'll be posting. So like, subscribe, comment if you want something. And otherwise, have a great day and see you next week.